really just a bit of a pull back to what we looked at right at the beginning with the cash framework. So we've done this work up front. We've looked at the criticality of the workloads that we've got. We've discussed the impact on the business if those were to fail or we have interruption. And we've made a commitment as the IT department, as IT managers and CTOs, to say this is what I'll commit back to the business. I'll document it. That I'll commit to this level of performance, this level of uptime, this level of cost, whatever it is that the business is driving you towards. And that really becomes your, as you said before, that becomes your management baseline, your minimum commitment to the business and what you have and how you will deliver it. With that in place, you can start thinking about the tools and the processes that you need to have in place. And then once that's done and you're happy and you've got the information back on your reporting, you can start thinking about expanding that baseline. How can I add more value? How can I do more work to deliver value for the workloads that are running in Azure? There's different ways of doing that, and we'll talk about this under the cloud operations sort of discipline. So inventory and visibility. You obviously need to see what's going on and what's happening, and Azure Monitor is something that's key. It will provide insights for all your workloads running in Azure, and it's definitely something that should be part of that landing zone. Operational compliance. We've already spoken about this. This is your policy. Making sure you don't get configuration drift, making sure that you stay compliant. When you start adding new workloads, when you start doing more work on Azure. Again, something that needs to be part of your landing zone. And then, we've looked at the impact of these services going down. What is the impact? As it says at the top there, not all workloads are mission critical. You might have some workloads that simply having backups in place is enough. As long as I can recover in 24 hours, it's not a problem. You might have other workloads that are really critical, and you need to have, you need to make plans through using things like Azure Site Recovery, sort of business continuity and disaster recovery planning. What happens if this region is unavailable, if this service is unavailable? How do I stand that up? Do I need to recover from that through Azure Site Recovery, or does it need to be up? Do I need an active kind of configuration? Again, things to think about when you're designing your landing zone and Azure environment. And then platform operations. So we've got a baseline. Start looking at ways to improve that, and the way you can kind of do that is, there's kind of two ways. One, looking at what is the common platforms that you have. Maybe as an environment, especially in the beginning, the majority of your workloads are running as virtual machines. How can I make improvements to the way that I deliver virtual machines to the platform? If I can make a change that will improve virtual machines in one area, I'll be able to do it across the majority of my my estate, and therefore drive some real value. Or the flip side of that is looking at workload operations. So what are the crown jewels? What are the workloads that are absolutely the most important within the business? And should I be focusing on those? How can I drive more value for the business?